Ready to ignite your future? The Loudoun County Combined Fire and Rescue System is recruiting volunteers now. No experience? No problem. LCCFRS provides free training and certifications. Network with a diverse group of people while making a real difference. Whether you want to be a firefighter, EMT, chaplain, or help administratively, we've got a role for you. Open new doors and boost your resume with the Loudoun County Combined Fire and Rescue System. Start now at opennewdoors.org. That's opennewdoors.org.
How about Captain Crunch's Crunch Berries with breakfast?
Whoa, Dad, we're on
Crunch Island. It's Jean Lefoot.
And he stole our crunch.
Quick, the zip line.
He's getting away.
Throw our last Crunch Berry. No! No one steals my Crunch Berries.
I think you mean my crunch berries. Choose your own crunch venture with Cap'n Crunch.
Welcome to California in Focus. I'm David Mastio. Today we're talking about the busy week that the state legislature in California had. Joining me today is the Center Square's Kenneth Schrupp, California reporter for the Center Square. Kenneth, tell me about what's going on in the legislature this week. I understand that they have banned telling parents about their children deciding that they are another gender.
That's right. The California legislature has passed a bill that would ban parental notification for gender change requests from students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Many school districts have adopted notification policies for if a student officially requests to change their gender on their record, to drastically change their name on their record, or to use facilities or school programs that are different from what is already officially in their records. For example, if they're a boy, but they want to use girls' restrooms or play on girls' teams. If signed by the governor, where this bill is now heading, that it would render moot the notification policies that have been adopted by many California school districts. The California Department of Education earlier issued this guidance that schools should not disclose students' gender-related record change requests to parents. In response, some school districts adopted rules requiring that parents be notified. Rob Bonta, the California Attorney General, then responded by supporting lawsuits against these school districts, and it's supporting this current bill in question, AB 1955. It's not really clear whether or not the governor is going to sign this. A lot of California legislatures did sort of note that there's uncertainty about what would happen under these existing notification rules when, teachers are afraid that a parent might put a child in danger. I think there was a rebuttal from Bill Asaley, a assembly member who has really led the charge against this. And he said, it's not going out and listening to kids or suspecting a kid might be struggling with their gender identity and running to their parents. It's when the child has come to school and said, I would like to change my name, change my gender, and I want the school to recognize my new name and gender. I don't think it's unreasonable that parents know the change is happening. And in response to these sort of concerns about the safety of students, he said, if a teacher or principal has a suspicion that this kid is going to be harmed at home or the child expresses that, first of all, they can advise their child not to change their records to avoid the notification, or two, they're mandated reporters and can call for the authorities. Or in other words, if a teacher or principal or counselor thinks that this child is going to be at risk of harm if the parent learns about their desire to change their name or gender in official school records, then they can go to the authorities and say that we think this child is at risk and you need to do something. Governor Newsom said that he's aware of the bill and looking forward to reviewing it. Newsom has had a mixed record on issues like these, where sometimes he has sided with more progressive advocates, sometimes he has sided more with moderates. We'll see where he goes on this.
If he has his mind on national politics, the national political implications are much different than the state level political implications.
That is correct. We've seen him moderate on social issues significantly since aiming his sights more towards national office. And I would suspect that he probably will side with parents. I think that there was a Gallup poll saying that the vast majority of Americans really don't support a lot of these policies giving more leeway and parents less insight or at least control over transgender-related hormones and programs for children under 18.
In other news from the legislature this week, in, I guess you could call it do as I say, not as I do news, the legislature exempted itself from one of its own laws. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, California lawmakers decided to exempt their $1.1 billion office renovation from state environmental law. California passed something called the California Environmental Quality Act in 1970, which allows pretty much anyone to endlessly file lawsuits in court claiming that environmental impact reports produced by projects are not adequate. So a determined group can just keep challenges to a building going on pretty much forever. This renovation was approved in 2018, and they've already completed demolition for it, but they have not been able to start because of ongoing CEQA challenges. California currently has a 4.5 million home housing shortage. And so this act here really shows that, yes, even the state government, the legislators can't get their own renovations approved. So they have to go pass an exemption for their own specific project to get just one renovation done for a site that they've already done the demolition for. And Republican lawmakers really noted the hypocrisy on this. The California Assembly Minority Leader James Gallagher said, "I think we have a duty to act better when we're talking about these things. Or look, let's do CEQA exemptions across the board instead of just one-offs for state office buildings for ourselves. It's not the right look." California housing production has fallen substantially since CEQA was passed. That's because developers pay interest on borrowed money, so construction delays exponentially increase developers' costs. So you're just not going to want to build in California. There's a report from the Building Industry Association of Southern California, which obviously would benefit from more construction, but I think this data is still illustrative. They said, with the exception of some periods of recovering production, nominal annual housing production has been a long, generally downward drift that began in the 1970s. The SF Chronicle also found it takes 626 days for a home builder to receive a construction permit in the city. California has made some changes to CEQA to empower the governor to set CEQA challenge limits on high priority infrastructure projects, and he's done that. But for the actual housing for normal people, you're still facing a lot of challenges. The Little Hoover Commission, which is a nonpartisan state-funded body, did recommend major CEQA reforms, such as exempting infill housing from CEQA review and requiring greater standing to challenge new construction. But we'll see if those end up passing this year, where the legislative calendar is sort of already running out of steam.
Kenneth, thanks for joining us today. Listeners can keep up with this story and more, like our story on how new benefits for striking workers didn't pass the state legislature. It got killed in committee. And on the latest news about Proposition 47 politicking among Democrats, those are all available at thecentersquare.com.
We all have our own behind-the-wheel persona. Are you a windows down, sing-along to your favorite song, seat lean back kind of driver? Or perhaps an AC blasting, podcast on, hugging the wheel kind of driver? However you move through life, Atlantic Union Bank is on board because we agree things should be done your way, especially banking. Work with someone you trust who's there when you need them for all the ways you bank. Call, schedule a video appointment, or make a pit stop at an Atlantic Union Bank branch to learn more. Atlantic Union Bank. Any way you bank.
Transform learners into leaders with the School of Federal Leadership Excellence. This new school from Management Concepts offers 2 intensive, unique, and innovative training programs, each designed to teach essential leadership skills to aspiring and mid-level leaders working across the federal landscape, all to help them discover the leadership abilities of tomorrow, today. If you want to develop the skills needed to succeed in the workforce, this is for you. The journey begins at managementconcepts.com. That's managementconcepts.com.
How about Captain Crunch's Crunch Berries with breakfast?
Whoa, Dad, we're on
Crunch Island. It's Jean Lefoot.
And he stole our crunch.
Quick, the zip line.
He's getting away.
Throw our last crunch berry.
No!
No one steals my crunch berries.
I think you mean my crunch berries. Choose your own crunch venture with Cap'n Crunch.